Hi there, I'm Euge Valovirta and this is about ENGL Powerball 200 watt tube amplifier. Alright, ENGL Powerball 2. The song you heard, that was from Red Wolf's debut album, Sessions Volume 1. And the song is, yes, I needed to cheat, it's Running in Circles. You know, your own songs, you never remember the titles, but you remember the working titles. And this working title was Anthrax Witch. Well, anyway, Running in Circles, link in the description below to the album if you want to check out, and the Red Wolf music videos. On the album version there's several guitars harmonized and stuff, so I just kind of, you know, made one guitar arrangement on the fly, improvised a bit and stuff, but yeah. So, Powerball 2, this is unique amp, like ENGL's, I think. They have a unique character, which I like, because there's so many amps and so many of them don't really have a character. I mean, Marshalls, I like the mid character, especially 800 and Plexi. It's a recognizable sound and feel. And the ENGLs, they have this kind of similar feel than what Marshalls have. Not the same feel, but they have a feel, they have a personality. They are quite kind of like compressed and voiced like, I mean, I've done a few videos already on a couple of amps. So check out my tube amps playlist if you're interested, link in the description, and I will do more. they're different, but they all have one thing in common, which is that certain unique feel. So what I used on the song was the lead gain number 3, and I boosted it with overdrive. Many people say or like to use ENGLs without an overdrive, and I mean it's personal preferences. The artist edition that I did a video, that worked fantastically without any overdrive in front. It stayed tight even when you increased gain. The Blackmore was kinda, yeah, when you crank the gain a lot, I kind of felt the need to use an overdrive. And this one, I felt the same, because now I have the overdrive, the gain is around 10 o'clock. When I take it off, and add the same amount of drive, to me it becomes really mushy and loose, which is very common to most amplifiers. So how I like to set this is kind of like my 800. This kind of like now it stays tight, and then when we add overdrive, super overdrive, yeah, but again, you know, personal preferences. The lead channel, that's again very high gainy, so no overdrive now. SD. This is the same than with the artist edition, and with the Blackmore, I don't like it. It sounds somehow kind of hollow, but it's really modern. I mean, I can see why they make it, because if you want that really kind of cold sounding modern high gain, then that's perfect. But I don't like it that much. I prefer the lead gain number 3 with this one. And the controls, the EQ is kind of the same, or the amplifier is voiced like ENGLs in general, at least in my experience. So I have a mid cranked, because this doesn't have that much mid. Well, I'm used to Marshall's 800s. They are really like mid-focused amps, but listen. When I crank the mids, I can feel that it's good. And there's a bottom switch, which adds like well, more bottom. And on this 3 channel, I had it on. I felt that it's voiced pretty good, because it doesn't get like extra, like it just gives it a notch more, a little bit deeper sound. And otherwise, bass is 2. Treble is around 2, and then there is middle boost. This is pretty cool for, let's say, if you want to have some mid solos. Okay, now basic sound, SD on. You may ask, well, why didn't I use that on the rhythm? Well, I didn't like how it boosts the mids for rhythm. It's, I don't know the frequency, but it's different frequency than what this controls. As you probably know, these are just volume controls for preset frequencies. So this middle is a volume control for whatever is the mid frequency that the amp designer has, you know, designed. So this boost, but this is indeed the leads kind of, you know, become more forward. Once more. And it also kind of cuts the highs. It's probably like, you know, this, and it's probably when the mids go up, it kind of, you know, the lows and highs go narrower too. So it's a good lead boost option. I probably would use it. Well, I mean, I don't really have a lead sound, but let's say if I would record with this, probably the only thing I would do is just put this on, and then it's a little bit different from the rhythm sound, a little bit kind of smoother and tighter from lows and smoother from highs. Okay? Yes. I have the bad boy fired up and my 85. So while we're on this channel, let's compare. Okay, first the ENGL. Okay, 800 is 800, but I like this because I like these two. I mean, these two are my favorite amps, no questions. I've had these over 20 years, and there's a reason why. But this is kind of, I mean, the low end, even though I have the bottom on quite a lot of depth punch, it's still, it isn't as big as on these two, like you heard. But it's hard to describe, but it's kind of like a little bit smaller, tighter, and the amp has kind of this down, spongy feel that I kind of like. Because sometimes I describe like what I'm looking for from a sound is that it feels like when you're hitting with a baseball, you know, club, batch, whatever is the word, you know, to an iron bar. Down. And these, I feel they gave me that down, but this gives it even more. So this probably will be like, you know, hitting an aluminium baseball bat. Yeah, baseball bat to an iron bar. Down, like really. So this is indeed more modern sounding and more like focused, really tight and aggressive. Then let's switch to crunch channel and let's take the SD off. Actually, I'm gonna switch guitar now because now we were in drop C with the active EMG 8185, and the signal chain is the usual guitar cable to wah-wah to my pedal board, where I have the G-Lab looper so I can switch the amps, etc. Then from the board it goes to this KHE amp switcher, then into different amps, back to KHE, and then a speaker cable from KHE to SIR reactive load, where I have my signature IR Valovirtuals from Jens Bogren's new Lead and Clean pack, and then it goes to Steinberg audio interface and into Cubase, where I'm recording the guitar. My voice I'm recording with this small microphone. And I mean, and for these rockier and cleaner sounds, EMGs are a bit, I mean, live it's okay, but studio, I'm actually recording my second solo album. I usually use Telecaster or this or some passive pickups for clean sound. It's just more, I don't know, open, dynamic. Okay, so the crunch channel. one, no overdrive. This crunch channel actually, when I crank the gain, let's add a bottom. This is actually quite closer to the 800. Hey, let's try boost this with SD. Yeah, this channel, man, I think this is my favorite. The crunch, it's really close to 800. Well, there's this kind of high thing, which is very English, very typical. But this is actually, yeah. Okay, then let's switch into a clean channel. So as you hear, this is really clean, but you can't get it to... Yeah, it's crispy, clean. Reminds me a bit of my JCM800 TSL. I don't have it now connected, but to me this reminds me of that amp a little bit. So there's completely clean channel. There's bright switch, bottom switch. You can get it from clean to mildly overdriven, and then this crunch channel. It was quite 800 like. So you can get that also to clean and this like AC/DC 800 style crunch. And then there's these two like heavy channels, more modern. The lead 3, it was kind of also in that 800 territory, more tighter, more compressed. So the crunch channel is more open. And the lead gain 4, that's like really kind of compressed and tight and stuff. my least of my favorite channels on this one. And there's a bunch of stuff on the back, like usually on ENGLs. So there's a noise gate, which I don't have on now. I think that affects only to the high gain channels. And FX loop, so there's balance, which so you can control here how much the loop blends the signal in, and several foot switch options. I mean, I guess ENGL's own foot switch, the big one, works the best with these because there's so many possibilities what you can do. Two master volumes, separate channel volumes, separate preamp gains. And yes, this is what I like, because on the artist edition and Blackmore, there wasn't the high gain channels, the two high gain channels, they share the same gain control. But this, they have both their own gain controls. So this is actually really a good feature. So you can control both channels gain individually. 606 power tubes, ENGL's ECC83 preamp tubes, my favorites. They're basically JJ ECC83 S tubes. I have those ENGL or JJ tubes on all of my amps, my favorite preamp tube. But yeah, very versatile amp and can indeed do everything from crystal clean to really kind of violent, modern metal, if you will. I like this. I mean, if you followed me and my career, I'm a Marshall guy, but what I like about these ENGL is that they have a personal vibe. They have like personality, that ENGL thing. Hey, hopefully you found this interesting and informative, and thanks again to great Swiss music company Musics for letting me borrow this one. Yeah, hopefully you found this interesting, informative. If you like, a thumbs up and so on. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there wherever you are. See you next time. Bye.